Good morning, Lydia. How are you? I hope you've had a wonderful week. We're going to hop into some reviews of week 8 while I drink my coffee. Okay, I've got your program over here. I've got your videos over here, and let's get into it. My glasses. Nice. I think the thing we should work on is just a little more stability from the feet. So as you can see, if you look there, we got some tippy tappy happy feet. I think our next thing to focus on moving forward is just screwing that bottom foot into the ground and really pressing your toes into the ground, big toe, baby toe, and your heel as well to really get that stable tripod foot. And the more stable your foot is, the more stable the rest of your body will be. Because I think the actual squat itself looks good. Perhaps you could try initiating with the hip a little bit more. So just sitting the hip back before breaking at the knee. But they are getting better for sure. So that'll be your focus for next week, is just creating a bit more stability in the foot and then initiating the movement from the hips. So just pushing the hips back first. Wonderful. Okay, band RDL. I'm excited about these. Yay! Oh my God.
So this is the lighter one that I think I'm going to use for this, just trying to focus that.
I love it.
And then this one.
Are those from Amazon? Probably everything's from Amazon. Good. Oh. I was so ready. Oh, really nice. I'm sure you know, and I'm sure you'll say it. For next week, you can use the heavier band, just because at the bottom there it gets loose and we want to maintain constant tension throughout the movement. So just use the heavier one for next week. Great job. I love that your feet are staying more planted versus like your box squat, for example. The hinge looks great. The back is flat, the shoulder or the chest is open. I would just say when you get to about this point, the knees start traveling forward, the elbows start bending, and it kind of becomes a little bit squatty because the knees start to come forward like that. So just think, maintain that vertical shin and keep pushing those hips back. So like up till here is great. It just gets a little squatty at the bottom. But it looks really, really good. So I would say, one, use the heavier band next week. And two, maybe just don't go down as far. I think that'll feel a lot better when you're using the heavier band. But just stop when you get to, let's say, a little bit before here. So whenever the arms are straight and your knuckles hit about mid shin, that'll be a good place to stop. When your shins are vertical, your hips will be a little bit higher. So just think, keep the vertical shin, use the heavier band, and just keep pushing the hips back instead of kind of getting into this little squat position. Okay, backpack rows. Yeah, getting on a step actually is a great idea for these. We're living and learning. Yeah, getting up on a step or on the table or on the couch, I think would make a huge difference here. Because the actual row looks really, really good. You're correct in saying you don't have enough room to fully extend the arms. But you're doing great with what you got. This hinge looks really, really good. So remember, pull the shoulders back and drive with the elbows, keeping the shoulders in the back pocket. No, you're right. Those look really, really great. Just allowing yourself a bit more range of motion will make it feel a lot better. Forwards braced, really nice. Good, fingers pointing away from us like a shadow puppet. You're feeling the shoulder blades in the back. Wonderful. Yep, keeping the shoulders back and squeezing your back will activate the back muscles. And then as you're pushing the heels together and pushing away, you should feel that kind of in the mid chest. These look really, really good here. The tempo is great. You're hitting a good spot on your chest. Yeah, keep that up. I like that. Great job applying the feedback. Looking really, really good. Okay, bear planks. These ones are fun.
I'm so sweaty by now. Unbelievable. Who did this?
Nice. I love that your wrists are under your shoulders are pulled back. I think you could just move your feet up a tiny bit. We would like your knees to be under your belly button. And I assume your belly button's around here. So we're just gonna pull the knees up a little bit and walk the feet forward a little bit, but you got it. Let's check this. Yeah, I saw you pull your shoulders back, so you got tension in here. Remember to pull the belly button to the spine. Try to breathe behind it. I would just move the feet up so that the belly button is over top of the knees. But that's day one. Great job. Okay, moving on to day two. All right. The feet look really great here. I can see you pushing these toes into the ground, so that's fabulous. Driving the knees outwards. Quick reminder, if you're already doing this, it's great, but if you're not, a reminder, screw the feet into the ground, so heels together, toes apart, to feel that tension in your hips and drive the knees outwards. Initiating with the hips, so that's fabulous. The knees and the hips lock out at the same time, so that's great. You're keeping the weight close to your heart, and that's super important. Really, really nice. So for next week, what we're gonna do to progress you, I'm gonna write 3 times 12 with pause. So just so you know what that looks like, that pause needs to be painfully long. So you get to the bottom, you'll hold it for 3, 2, 1, and then back up. Come back up, nice and controlled on the way down. You're gonna pause for 3, 2, 1, and then back up. So count out your pauses out loud if you need to, but try to make the pause at the bottom painfully long next week. These squats look really, really great. Okay. Okay, let's see. The single leg RDL. One little, I'll tell you when you come back up, little tweak, I would pull this bent leg, I would pull that foot back a tiny bit. You want the fronts of your thighs to be in line. And right now, in this video, the right one sticks out a little bit further than the left one. So I would just like you to pull that bent leg back a teeny bit, just so your thighs are flat across, instead of one being flat in front of the other, just smooth. I'm looking at your hinge. Your foot position is great. Again, no tippy tappies. Hinge looks great until you kind of get to the bottom. So it's similar to your RDL, of course. So when you get to about this point, I would stop when you get to this point, because when you go a little bit lower, you can see everything starts to kind of collapse. The depth isn't necessarily the goal. So I would kind of keep, again, the shin vertical, keep the hips a little bit higher, and just keep pushing them to the back of the room. So that way you can kind of lower your torso as one by pushing your hips back and keeping that back flat. I just find right now you're really chasing the depth, and by doing that, you're kind of rounding forward and achieving that depth through your back. Yep, so up till there, it's great. And then we lose it in the bottom right there. Let's check the other side. Yeah, so I would just pull that bent leg back. This side, I think, is actually better than the other side. So yeah, I'd say for next week, just work on first the setup. So pulling the bent leg back a little bit, keeping that vertical shin, and keeping the arms straight as well. They kind of bend a little bit, but that's okay for now. And think the dumbbells are going straight down into the floor. Make sure they stay close to your body on the way up as well. So right now you're painting your thighs on the way down. You want to paint your thighs on the way up as well. So they kind of drift away. You want to keep them nice and close. Yeah, so here we're rounding a little bit. So just focus on perhaps keeping the hips a little bit higher, really pushing them to the back of the room. And you'll get your depth that way. Very nice. Okay, lying lat pullover. We did not do these last week, so we're going to do them now. I think the light band's a good choice for this one. And if you find you don't like how it grazes your temples, you can push the table back or you can push yourself down. But I love that you're keeping the Barbie arm, the slight bend throughout the whole thing. Make sure when you do it in your setup, you're pulling your shoulders into your back pocket. You have a nice puffed up chest. And if you have an arch in your back, it doesn't come just from arching, it comes from pulling your shoulders back, and that'll result in creating a little space in the a little space back there. Keeping the shoulders pinned to the ground so that you're not dumping forward. But I think you did a really great job with these. Yeah, and the intensity will come from pulling your shoulders back, maintaining that tension. Yay! No, really great job on these. Not too much to critique right now, just a reminder of pulling the shoulders back and keeping them glued to the floor. Very good, yes. We got kittens. Hi. Oh, so cute. Their little faces get me. Okay. Good, good tension. Yep, hold them in the middle, perfect. That'll make a huge difference. I like these. I like that you're maintaining the tension. You're not just dropping into the bottom position. Nice and slow. And you're maintaining that bend throughout the whole movement. I really like these a lot. Again, just like the lying lat pullover, just a reminder to pull the shoulders back and keep them pinned behind you. It looks like you are from what I can see. But just a reminder, it's always nice. You mark these as an 8. Good. And you said you felt this one in your chest last week, the following day. So that's perfect. That means it's working what it's supposed to be working. No, really nice. Tempo and tension is fabulous. Again, a reminder, if you're not already, pulling the shoulders back and keeping them pinned so they don't dump forward. And remember to focus on your breathing, inhaling as you're opening up, exhaling as you're coming together. All right, last one for today. I'm excited to see these. Mm-hmm. Ooh! Obviously a slight shift, but I'm happy with how these are looking. Hand position's really good. You say towards the last reps, you kind of speed it up, so I'm excited to see that. No, oh my God. Those look fabulous. I think I'm gonna keep it, I'll keep it as the same reps and sets. And then you'll notice yourself getting stronger. I think it'll give you a little confidence boost. But no, these are actually coming along very nicely. Towards the last few reps, you see a bit more hip shift because you're getting tired, so that makes sense. But no, keep doing what you're doing here. Remember to squeeze the butt as hard as you can, squeeze the quads as hard as you can. And then, like we said before, focus on pushing the anchored hand into the ground. And yeah, no, this looks really, really good. Keep doing this. We're going to keep it the same next week, and then you'll notice yourself getting better, I promise. No, really nice job on those. All right, let's do day 3. This descent looks amazing. We got a little wobbly here. There's room for improvement there for sure, but it looks great. And then the ascent is a little a little wobbly. No, great control straight down. And they are getting, like, when you do the knee drop, it is less violent than it has been like last week. Oh, that one was good. Rated these a 9. Same thing as the plank shoulder taps. I'm going to keep the reps and sets the same just so you can get a better hang of it instead of adding more challenge. But I think you are getting better at these. I think when you get to the bottom, don't immediately go into your knee drop. Hang out there for a second, get yourself ready, brace your core, because it's going to be all core that controls how fast your knees drop. And the same thing to get the knees back up. It's going to be a big squeeze in the core before pulling the knees up. No, it looks really great here. Pause for a second, brace, and then just really think of leaning back, bracing your core to counteract kind of the weight of your knees. But no, great job on those. Let's look at your.
Hello.
Hey.
I'm just gonna put this on the video because it's easier than writing it. But I tried to loop it around twice, and fun fact, I could not. Like my leg would go like this, and I couldn't put it up anymore. So I'm gonna keep it looped once, but I'm gonna like try to make it so that it is taut the whole time. That makes sense.
It does.
Okay. You can see that. Start with this one.
Awesome. I think you got it now, but on the first one, your foot, you unflexed it. So this is flexed the way your feet are now. So just remember to keep it flexed throughout the whole movement to better engage the hamstring. Really great job on these. I'm thinking if you want to make it harder, if you could tie the knot, just like make a smaller loop, if that makes sense. Instead of like looping it around twice, maybe tying a smaller loop. I could be wrong. What are we doing? 10 per side. Read these as 7. Nice. Again, for these, I think I will add a pause for next week. So you would go up, hold it here for 2 to 3 seconds, slowly come back down. Up fast, hold for 2 to 3 seconds, and then back down. No real comments to say. Your hips aren't rising. Excuse me, your foot is now staying flexed the whole time. I can see your glutes working, so that's what we want. And ideally, you should be feeling it in the hamstring here. If you're not, please let me know. But this guy is the mover. Nice. Thank you, thank you. All right, straight arm pull down's fun. With the new band. All right, so for this one, I think what would help is if you took a step back to give yourself a little bit more space. And then I know you said you felt like you couldn't raise your arm as high, but I think I'd like you to raise your arm higher. When we allow the arm to go up higher, we're kind of stretching out our lat a little bit more. So we're gonna get more out of it when we bring it back down. So I think I would like you to take a little step back, perhaps instead of looping your hand through it, just grabbing the band a little bit higher, then creating your Barbie arm, shoulders back, and scooping it down. Just so we can get a little bit more out of it. Oh, we're gonna move me over. Whee! Yeah, there you go, good step back. Yeah, you've got it. Be careful not at the bottom, not to extend it like a tricep extension, but I think you've got it. You've got it. It's good. So yeah, I would just say take a little step back, hinge your body forward as well, kind of like the bent over rows, and then perhaps grabbing it just a little bit higher on the band, just so you have more range of motion. So you can go from here down to here instead of just here and down. But I'm happy you like them. Band tricep extensions. Ooh, fun. How many are we doing? 10. Nice. I was going to tell you after the first rep to step closer, and you do that on your own. And I could be wrong, but I think last week the feedback was to keep your elbow glued. And you did a great job here. If I put my mouse on the elbow, oh, it goes away. But the elbow stays in a relatively same spot. And they felt like a 9. So that's wonderful. I know. Great job. Not many comments there. Those look really, really good. And last thing we're going to look at.
I had to use my fancy new band, the lighter one for this, and it was just way too long. So we're using the rest.
It was too long. If it's too long, you can kind of tie a knot in it and then wrap the doorknob and like the knot, if that makes sense. You said you're shifting to one side, so I got to catch that. Because from this side, you're staying centered. Tempo looks really good and you're hitting yourself on a good spot. Going on a trip in a very rocket ship into the sky.
We're leaning against a shoe here. So.
Is this the side you pointed out the shift? Maybe. I think this might be the side where you're talking about the shift, but it's very hard to notice. But of course, you know what to do about that. Just focus on keeping that tension within the core, pulling the shoulders down so that you're not leaning to one side. Otherwise, it was good. And then just remembering to squeeze your palms together. Yep, you got it. Wow, really great job. All these workouts average about an 8-ish, so that's perfect. That's exactly where we want to be. And you are doing a great job with these. Good job getting all 3 workouts done. And what I also assume you probably did some yoga or some biking as well, so that's great. At this current moment, I have not received your feedback or your check-in, and I'm excited to read that. Great job. I'm going to update this right now, and I hope you have a wonderful week coming up. I will talk to you soon. Goodbye.